Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano and Frank. Patriot, Bald Eagle, if you had to hit pause to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now. This will be a lengthy discussion. Okay, so we have an ongoing investigation of lead in cinnamon, lead in applesauce packets, cinnamon applesauce packets that are targeted for children. We're going to read a little bit from Food Safety News as more of an update on what is going on and how this continues to happen. Okay, so the Food Safety News, they say the FDA was first notified about the lead in the applesauce in mid-September of 2023. If you remember, we've been covering this all throughout, and we have said that there's more links to this than I think people realize. Here we are in April, okay, with this still ongoing, with other cinnamon being recalled for high levels of lead. If you remember, we had the Supreme Tradition at Dollar Tree. Their ground cinnamon has been recalled. They have signs everywhere in every Dollar Tree that I've been in that has the recall signs on all the different cinnamon. So, and it's in the front of the store as well. So they're doing everything they can, even if there's one loose in the store somewhere, that people are well aware when you go into the store that do not buy this cinnamon. It has high levels of lead. And it was held by public health officials in North Carolina. On October 28th, the FDA discussed analytical findings of lead in cinnamon applesauce produced by Astro Foods in Ecuador with the producer. So as we go onto the website here, again, this is Food Safety News. We've been following with Food Safety News this entire time. They do a good job of getting the information out here. So if you would like to check this out for yourself, by all means, go ahead. So this was updated on April 17th, 2024, which is today. Part of a federal investigation into lead in certain cinnamon applesauce products has been shifted to follow-up status. The new approach by the FDA is designed to provide post-incident response action. The agency will continue surveillance activities as well as prevention and compliance activities, according to an update posted by the FDA on April 16th. The CDC and prevention is continuing to monitor the outbreak of lead poisoning, and most recently reported 519 children impacted in the outbreak. Now that's just reported. 519. That's a number that we have not heard. Okay, that's a number we have not discussed. That's a very large number. These are reported incidents. Okay? The outbreak stretches across 44 states, which I could argue that it's probably all of them, but that's what's on record. Okay? They say it stretches across 44 states. The FDA has collected 90, quote, adverse incident reports in this outbreak. The two agencies use different reporting methods, so their numbers may overlap somewhat and should not be added together. The CDC continues to add patients to its count. Also, there can be significant lag time between consumption of the lead-contaminated cinnamon applesauce and the detection of elevated blood levels of the heavy metal. I wanted to insert some heavy metal music in the background, but yeah, it's not a joking matter here. 3 brands of cinnamon applesauces sold in pouches and marketed for children have been recalled, which we've discussed many times over the last 6, 7, 8 months. The Wabana, Schnucks, and Weiss only cinnamon applesauce products have been implicated. I like how they keep mentioning that, because we keep finding heavier amounts of lead in a lot of different cinnamon. Okay, a lot of cinnamon that has been from out of the country that has come in has had very high levels of lead. Supreme Tradition's one of them. There are a couple others, but we also have had reports that it keeps on going. I feel like most people have been talking about buying like the organic cinnamon and grinding it yourself. That's probably the best way to do it. If you have not thrown out your cinnamon, we have thrown ours out. It is just, we're not risking it. But yes, cinnamon is good for you, but you want to make sure that, for one, it doesn't have these extremely high levels of lead in it, which, I don't know. I'm assuming for it to continue to slip through the fingers, hopefully that these companies and businesses that are supposed to be watching and protecting us are to see this continue to go on months later. Now, it is an ongoing investigation, but we need to make sure that we're cracking down on all the different things going on with all these recalls, mislabels, all these things that are going on right now. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. These things need to, it's why we're doing this video here tonight, so that you are aware. You're aware of what's going on. I haven't seen this on any local media. I haven't seen this on any TV networks or anything. So, when I saw that number, I was like, we got to talk. When I saw 519 kids affected for high levels of lead poisoning, guys, it's getting serious. The FDA was first notified. Okay, we went over that back on October 28th. But as we know, that the recall, it's all started back in September. Okay, the FDA was notified about it on October 28th. So how far did, like we said before, how far was this able to slip through the fingers of food safety and all these other different things, right? I'm not blaming nobody or pointing the finger. I'm just the messenger. I'm just relaying the message here. So, just want to make that very clear. But this is something we've been covering for over the last 6, 7, 8 months. And it's just, it's ridiculous, and it's something that we need to keep discussing so that all the new viewers to the channel are aware of what's going on. It was eventually determined that the lead was from contaminated cinnamon purchased from a third-party supplier. The FDA had reported that the lead was likely added to the cinnamon to increase its weight and therefore its commercial value. Yeah. Added for weight and commercial value. Added lead. I don't even know what to say about this, guys. I really don't. So, okay, so if there's added lead and all this stuff, where's the criminal activity in this that's going to be taken care of? Now, if this was coming from overseas or something, well, I don't really know what we can really do about it. Why was it not tested when it was coming in? That's my question. Sounds like, this is going to be ongoing for a long time. And the thing that worries me is that what other products are not being tested? I mean, we know there's a lot of them, right? But I mean, I'm saying this as a general question, or a general answer of things. We need to make sure that we're testing these things as they're coming in. I mean, who knows what people are putting in stuff, and then, maybe have a general idea, but we can't go on the trust handshake factor anymore, right? Oh yeah, thank you. We no need to check this. You're a good person. We're just gonna take that and we're just gonna sell it to everybody. Come on, So anyway, other key dates in the investigation. Okay, so we're just gonna go over the dates quickly. Not gonna go over all the different explanations, but we'll do a little bit of a rundown here. So, October 29, 2023, Wabana LLC notified their customers about a recall of Wabana apple cinnamon fruit puree products. So that was when it was first talked about. Okay. October 30th, 2023, through continued cooperation with the FDA, Wabana LLC issued a press release regarding their voluntary recall of all Wabana apple cinnamon fruit puree pouches, November 2nd. 2023. After reviewing records provided by the firm as part of their initial recall, the FDA learned that other products, example, Schnucks and White Cinnamon applesauce pouches, were implicated in the recall and required additional public notice. November 3rd, one day later, the FDA updated its safety alert to, among other things, include certain Schnucks and White Cinnamon applesauce pouches. Now, on November 5th, 2023, 2 days later, the FDA held a call with the firm Wabana LLC During the call, FDA staff discussed the investigation, requested additional information from the firm, and asked the firm to update their press release regarding their voluntary recall and to provide additional clarification regarding the scope of the recall of all apple cinnamon fruit puree products, which the firm verbally agreed to provide. Yeah, I mean, when you're locked in a corner and you don't have a choice, sure, yeah, here, take it. So one day later, the apple cinnamon fruit puree products from Astro Foods were added to Import Alert 99-42, which they leave a link on that alert on here as well. Food safety news. If you want to click on, they have the link on that if you would like to read through that probably enormous file. On November 9th, 2023, which is just a few days later, Wabana LLC issued their expanded recall announcement, which that is a link as well. If you want to see the announcement for yourself, they have a link to where you can see their expanded recall announcement where I've read through it. It's huge. It's huge. To include information on recalled Schnucks and Weiss cinnamon applesauce pouches, which also impacts markets outside of the United States. Customer information provided by Wabana LLC shows that product was also distributed to Cuba and United Arab immigrants. Okay, so this is what's going on. This is where we're at with it. This is the leading to this. There's a couple things that I like and that I don't like about this. I like that it's not getting tossed away and then we're just forgetting about it. Okay, and I know that sounds, like it shouldn't anyway, right? But I do like, I don't like how they're basically leading this back, these causes of this lead poisoning and everything, just to these pouches. Okay, so we have other products, right? Now, I mean, they've narrowed it down, okay, but we have the other products like Supreme Tradition, cinnamon, all this, some other cinnamons that are involved. You can look up the USDA's website, FDA's website. They have different links to different recalls that we've seen over the last few months on cinnamon alone having very high levels of lead. So if you would like to look that up, I just recommend looking up food recalls. We should all be taking note of all these different food recalls because there are a ton. Now, I mean, I saw one earlier today. We're going to go into that here in just a second. So I just want to go over a little bit about what they have on lead poisoning here. Okay, so this goes in about lead poisoning. And the important thing about this is that we need to know what these symptoms are for parents because these things were targeted for children. Again, let me say that number again. 519. 519. That's crazy. That's crazy. That means that, and that's just reported. Okay? About lead poisoning, parents and caretakers should consult a healthcare provider and ask for a blood test. And this is where it gets extensive because this could take a while to figure out. Okay, but through blood test, if they suspect a child may have been exposed to the recalled cinnamon applesauce products. Short-term exposure to lead could result in the following symptoms: headache, abdominal pain, colic, vomiting, and anemia. Longer-term exposure could result in additional symptoms: irritability, lethargy, fatigue, muscle aches, or muscle prickling, burning sensations, constipation, difficulty concentrating / muscular weakness, tremors, and weight loss. So a wide variety of symptoms here that, it's like, it can almost be a lot of stuff. But I think, as a parent, you probably know your children very well. You know that something is going to be off and something is going to be a little different. There's going to be something different in this that's not like your average cold or flu or something like that. So make sure you pay attention to those symptoms if your children have been eating these things that have been on recall for months. And of course, they say permanent consequences can lead to developmental delays and brain damage. Okay, so that is it for the investigation that continues to be ongoing. Hopefully they are constantly checking everything else. I do believe, as a matter, I won't say that I know for a fact, but is it a coincidence that this has been an ongoing issue, and then over the last couple months we've seen multiple cinnamon products that have had high amounts of lead in them. Now, cinnamon has a tiny bit of lead in it. which is not harmful. And it's funny that they mention adding lead to it for weight. For weight. Like, that's where I feel, in my opinion, that's where it becomes criminal. Okay, like if that's the case, then it needs to end right now. Don't whatever product you're getting from where, hopefully that's done, right? You've taken your sources elsewhere, or you've taken your business elsewhere. Just wanted to mention that today. I know it's an ongoing investigation. We get a lot of comments on this constantly, asking me if they're still safe. I can't answer that. I know children love these things, but yeah, stay away from them. Even if they are, I would not buy any of them. I don't know. I think Great Value has a version. I think Kroger, or I don't know if Kroger does. I think Walmart does. But yeah, and they probably are safe, or they would be taken down. But I mean, come on now, like, it's gone over for months here. We need to make sure that we are paying attention to these things, because they have the tendency to spread out into other products. And considering how long it's taken them to investigate this one product, Lord knows how long it's going to take to see what else is expanded into other things. So the other recall that I just wanted to talk about here for just a second, there was a recall on Schweppes. Schweppes, the ginger ale. And not sure, but I wanted to go over that real quick, just because a couple of our viewers had mentioned this one in the channel, so I wanted to make sure we were going over what the new recall was. I know a lot of people, ginger ale's always been one of them things to help settle an upset stomach. So, okay, and this is weight.com, but there's articles all over the place. News Seattle, 7 News Seattle covered it, ABC News, The Hill. There's all kinds. If you just Google Schweppes recall, okay, and it'll just pop up on here for you. We're just gonna go over this a little bit because I don't want this to be too long for you guys. But another recall, guys. Another day, another recall. As a matter of fact, I need some coffee. Tim Hortons today. Need something nice and smooth. Didn't want to get too crazy. Pepsi Company again. We got Pepsi popping up. We got the Quaker's owned by Pepsi, if you don't know that. Pepsi Company has recalled 233 cases of Schweppes Zero Sugar Ginger Ale that inadvertently contained a full sugar product. Another mislabel. And how many have we gone over? How many have we gone over in the last few weeks? All these labels that are wrong. It's like, I feel like when you see one, okay, it opens up your eyes to see more and more and more and more. Like, because how is this happening? How is this happening all at once? Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Again, just the messenger here. Let's see. Ginger ale, the zero sugar Schweppes ginger ale that inadvertently contained a full sugar product, according to a webpage hosted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Pepsi Company initiated the recall back in March after an internal investigation uncovered the mix-up, the company said. And you can go to the FDA website to check the different lot numbers on that through the Schweppes Zero Sugar Ginger Ale. I'm not going to go over the different lot numbers in that. So it's 233 cases. I assume they mean cases. So, I don't know. So, yeah, that'd be kind of crazy, if you're diabetic or something and you got your Schweppes Ginger Ale Zero and all of a sudden you got a full-on sugar rush. I'll tell you what, guys. I'll tell you. And it's just every day. It's every day. But, we'll continue to keep you informed on everything that we come across, especially things that deal with a lot of food on the channel, because that is what we deal with. Make sure you're subscribed down below. Don't forget to like and share our videos with your neighbors, with your friends and family to help spread the message out there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.